This is Keir Starmer's birth chart. If you don't know who Keir Starmer is, he's the newly elected Labour Party leader, and the Labour Party are now the functioning political party here in the UK, and already people don't like him. So the reason I wanted to look at his chart, and I don't usually look at politicians' charts much, is because my intuition tells me that he's quite sensitive. But on the other hand, he's got this look that he kind of likes power, and he gives me some weird kind of vibes to do with power, and it's in his birth chart. So the first thing I'm drawn to is, if you look at the ascendant, he's Scorpio rising, and he's got Neptune on his ascendant. Neptune rising people are typically quite compassionate people. They have almost a nebulous appeal about them because they are Neptune rising. They have a malefic planet. He has a malefic planet conjunct his ascendant, which is actually cusping his first house. He does have, if you were in his presence, he will have almost maybe mysterious feel about him, because Scorpio rising is mysterious and it is quite a provocative energy. Scorpio rising is also misunderstood, but having Neptune on his ascendant there, he actually could be feared. Now, if we look at his rising sign's ruler, Pluto, it is conjunct his sun, which is another thing about him I feel is quite interesting. So he's got Uranus and Pluto conjunct his sun. For me, this man, he's a radical man, and he likes power, and he likes order and structure, because his sun and Uranus and Pluto are in an earth sign. He wants to be seen as a power, and it's in the 10th house. This is a public house. He is designed to be a politician, in my opinion. His moon is in Libra, in the 11th house. So the 10th house and the 11th house are houses that you do tend to see people in the public eye have in terms of their sun and their moon. There's an element of diplomacy about him. He knows how to negotiate with people, but it could make him a person who avoids conflict, which doesn't really mesh well with his sun conjunct Pluto in Virgo. But he is about law and order. He's got a very, very loose or Mercury moon conjunction. So he has a brilliant mind. He's got bright ideas. His emotions are very much enmeshed with his mind. He's a very tactful person and a very eloquent speaker, especially since Mercury and the moon are in Libra. He's got a Leo midheaven, and his north node is in Leo as well. So this is a person who likes to be in the spotlight. His public persona, if you like, is in alignment with his soul's purpose, because having your north node in Leo, that his soul is drawn basically to be kind of, here I am, look at me. So he's got Mars in Cancer, which means that he is very much motivated by his feelings, which are deposited by his moon, really, in Libra. And his Mars is trining his ascendant. Kind of like a sexy appeal, really. Gives him very high self-esteem and makes him very determined. Leadership for him is a natural talent. He's got Jupiter in the 4th house, so he has benefited from his family in some way, because Jupiter in the 4th house can mean that he's inherited wealth of sorts. His Mars is also in the 8th house, so he's driven by power. He enjoys power.